Alright, welcome back to another episode of Game Crafters, where today we're going to be building a level, the 8th level, that's going into a bridge passing over into a different level. I think this level is going to be a high focus on, I guess, a mixture of poison and water to some extent. I have some stuff in mind, so I guess we'll see what we can do, I suppose. Try to figure out what our game plan and strategy here is going to be. So if you enjoy today's episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Yeah, I figured I'd go on ahead and do one of these. Just a nice little level to have here. Because why not? Why not have a level where we can, vary it up instead of just doing more zone building, even though in this instance it's prefab creation and whatnot. Makes sense, right? All things considered, it's not a whole lot of things that we can do here. So yeah, I've figured, you know what, seems like a good idea. We're going ahead and make a poison water area to kind of like give you an idea of what to look forward to in the particular path you're going by, at least as much as you can get to, I suppose. Oops. Makes sense. The entire path on the A path is essentially all water, poison. Well, poison. Oh, I guess there's like teleporters in the ruined forest, but we don't exactly have an easy means of doing that now, do we? No, but we have that. We have a few other things, and right now I'm just trying to figure out what kind of poison crate puzzle do I want to put here. I probably don't want that. There's a few things in mind on how to make this the way it needs to be. I guess we'll find out soon enough. We definitely want some enemies here and there. Want some water here and there. Since this is like an optional thing you haven't like gotten to during a specific point, you don't know how the crate and water stuff dangled works because of the I don't even think you've seen that level. Do I even remember what level that was? Oh god, I don't remember. Was it 23? No. But that is close. It might be this one? No, that's the Skull Lever level. It was this one. Right. Yeah, this is the one. That mess of a level. Mess, I wouldn't really call it that much of a mess. I mean, it looks like a mess. A bunch of poison, a bunch of water. Of course it would look like a mess. We're having a small portion of that here. And see, that's a thing you can't get to until after you've gotten to a very specific point in an area that's on this path. So I would say it's pretty much an inconsequential component to this entire thing. Of course, I can still put some things here and there to try to like make it a bit more of a challenge. Like, for example, we get some enemies here, right? So where do we want the enemies, you may ask? That's a good question. I could definitely see a horizontal... Okay. I can definitely see a horizontal enemy right here in an area where you can't put the crate there, because if you do, well, there goes your chance at success. Put another horizontal enemy here, and we'll put another one here, I suppose. Aside from that, we could have a clockwise enemy coming into play and being a problem. A problemo. Problem for like the first bit, but you can easily just murk him like it's nobody's business. That's a counterclockwise. I'm looking for clockwise. Regular old clockwise. No. It'll make you go down. Makes sense, right? Then we have a couple of vertical enemies here. Theoretically, it shouldn't be too difficult or hard to like get past, in all honesty. Okay. So now we need that here. And you're going to want to have to push it here, push it there. Maybe put like a water there. And of course, we could test it to make sure I can actually get it to the lava. Makes sense, right? Alright, so where are all of you going? See, adding that guy in there does make this a bit of a tricky bitch. You know, there's only really like a few spots where that's an issue. Heck yeah, aside from that enemy going here, it's pretty much safe here. So it's really not that big of a problem. Though having to deal with these enemies with the added water instance is a bit of a pain. So get rid of this guy and makes this easier. I mean, I guess putting that there makes sense. But now that enemy's in the way. We got rid of one threat, but now there's still this threat. This wasn't the original pathway I was thinking I needed to take. Thinking bringing it down from like here first, and get it down to here like so. Oh, I could have killed him. Now he's just going to be in the way. It's fine. I want to go here, bring this up. Go over here. Make sure we kill this guy so he's not an issue. Bring that down. Bring that up. Kill this guy. Kill that guy. Not a problem. At least that part should be pretty simple enough, right? And now we continue forward into the next segment. Maybe instead of making this look symmetrical, we can have this entire segment over here be like this. And I think the plan here is very simple, just to make this into a giant water maze with some enemies in certain areas. I think I did have it set up to have enemies in places regardless of the positioning of the water. Makes sense with the amount of stuff that I've done. It's just that keys I've decided are the one factors, I mean, outside of like crates, but crates is like a given. Uh-oh. Okay, we lagged a little bit, but it's fine, I think. Yeah, it's fine. We could probably put something like that there. I would say the tricky part here is going to be figuring out where do we want the key components to be. So we have the starting water position right here. All of this is going to be water. 7 seconds to get through this feels like it's going to be way more of a challenge. So having some water pockets and at least figuring out where we want water pockets to be is a good idea. Also, I would say figuring out where the key should be, which may be there. Kind of makes sense to have that be on a complete opposite end. Whoops. I mean, here would make sense to have as a place for, you know, air. You're not really given too many options to evade it. But it's there. It's there. All right. So we got everything but counterclockwise. So let's get some verticals. I'd say we definitely want some vertical enemies on this path. Do I want horizontal enemy here? I mean, it makes sense. You're trying to find the right path to be able to escape. So ideally, with this guy here, if you're tricky enough, you can get past him pretty quickly. Other than that, though, I see a path. I see a few paths. This one's basically just an easier version of that one, but it takes a while to get to it. And with this guy here, I mean, we could definitely have these both be in the same component. Makes sense, right? This guy goes over that way, this guy goes, and this guy goes. So you basically are just waiting for this guy to get into position, going here with this guy maybe out of the way, then you can go. Actually, it would be preferable if he went here-ish and then went there, so then you can go. Waiting for that guy, waiting for this guy, and you get the key. Then the going back part is the tough part. You could do the same thing you did there to go here, or you could just go around and go back to here. Or you could risk it all and try to just get the hell out of that segment. I mean, we can test it. It's not that difficult to perform tests in this department. Well, there that goes. That was a close one. I probably should have waited. Now wait. Whoa, I did it, but I didn't get rid of the lava path because I spawned here and not the other place. At least it's possible, but boy is it a tricky bit of a bitch. I'll make this into a nice this shape for no reason other than to just have that look like that. Alright, now here comes the next part in figuring out how I want this to look. How I want this to be, how I want it to go. I can think of a few ways to make this go the way it needs to go. Poison tank. And a nice helping dose of water. Whoops. Whoops again. I think the idea with this one here is to have certain enemies moving a certain direction. Well, let's just see what we can do. let's just play. Let's not like fully commit, but let's play around with potentials, with some kind of I don't know if this is going to be way too challenging if we did it like this, so we'll see. We're going to set up counterclockwise enemies as well. Now, if that's the case, let me put 0 down here, and let me put 2 down here. And I'm going to move this over here for now while I test this out. There's not enough space. I'm going to die from drowning. Okay, so the bottom path you don't want to take, I suppose. The upper path is just way too... I mean, it's possible, but way too tricky. At least tricky going in that direction. No, it's just the same thing. Again, it's too tricky. Is there no easier way to go about doing this? Yeah, no, there is no way to go about doing that. These guys are perfectly set up in a way where they meet there. We could possibly have it set up in a way where they meet here. Doing so means I need, what was this, clockwise, you to be 3 and you to be 1. I'm sure this makes a difference some way, shape, or form. Yeah, they meet up in the corners this time. But I don't think that makes much of a difference. Okay, it makes a difference there. There's no way to go about doing that here unless you go quickly. And even then, it's like not enough space. There was enough space to make it. I guess that path's the harder path then? I mean, it's the harder and take longer path, but both paths work. If we consider this path here, it's so much easier. The bottom path is the harder path. Sure, it looks like you got a little bit more leeway, but I don't think that matters too much. I think the idea with this here is to give you 2 different paths to try out. So what if I added one of these here? That's a question. We go after this. Wait. I mean, it's still the same thing. This didn't do much. You're not likely to go down that route. Okay, then, how about this? We add one of these here. Okay, again, same deal. I mean, you could easily just go up this route and it wouldn't be that big of an issue. Even if we were to move it down just a little bit, I don't know how much of a difference that would make. Doesn't make that much of a difference. I suppose that's fine. Alright, here we are, about to get to a bridge crossing. We'll build this out like so. We'll have you on the edge. Like that. I suppose what we could do here is this. So that way you could possibly get to it, but you can't really. Also, let me move that back there before I forget. So I guess maybe this one can have like a choice. You don't have to do both. You could do one or the other. Makes sense, right? So if that's the case, wait, why not have an opposite here? One with a key, a water maze. One without a key, a crate puzzle. I mean, that makes the most sense to me, right? But of course it makes the most sense. Which one's easier? Which one's quicker? Who knows? That's the fun. But you have two choices here. I figured, yeah, sure, why not? Let's give a path, a choice. Doesn't have to all be the same damn thing every time. We're gonna set up a whole bunch of poison, and then we'll remove some stuff as we see fit. Simple as that, really, right? Okay. So obviously we want to have as much of a place for us to be able to get around in. What we would also want is some clockwise enemies. Oh, wait, right. What am I doing? You should be up here. But of course, it makes sense after all. Clockwise. Yep, clockwise. I'll put you here and I'll put you on 1. Yeah, that's right. I'll get a nice normal horizontal enemy here. And here. And maybe one here. We'll have you be alternating. Even though it doesn't matter that much, I think having you alternate is a good idea. I think the idea here is to try to get the box through what is essentially its own water maze of some kind. So you gotta like get it around town and stuff. While also keeping track of the poison here so you don't get yourself killed. Logically, it feels like it shouldn't be that much of a challenge. Especially that part there. So that one should be easy. Theoretically, it should be easy. So you're granted like a choice in this instance, but then here's the real choice. You want to go the crate path or you want to go the water path, with probably a few good enemies to kind of just get in your way. Let's see. I can see a few things I can do in this part here. Just a whole bunch of water, really. It's a blue level when you think about it. It is quite the blue level. Light blues, vivid blue, or you probably just call it straight up blue. Let's see, counterclockwise, we should have a counterclockwise here. 0. Oh, you are going to be 2. Well, whatever, it's fine. 0, 2. 0, 2. Whoops. 2. And I guess the question is, do we want a vertical enemy to be in the way? Or how would that affect this? You guys are moving in this direction, so no matter what, we're going in that direction. We're going around you. But the vertical enemy here would be a bit of a challenge. Putting him right there. If you're going in this way, having a horizontal enemy here would be a bit of a challenge, but not too difficult, I think. Let's give it a shot. Let's start here. Let's try the top route first. Yeah, okay, the vertical enemy might make that more difficult than it needs to be. I could definitely see that going to be a problem. So maybe we can get rid of vertical enemy here. Ooh, and nah. Remove vertical enemy, keep the horizontal. There's a few enemies here that makes this a bit of a challenge. Because we can't just, too quick. Unless, nope, just dies. Quick and easy, I presume. Now what about this path? This path looks a bit tricky, but doesn't seem too bad when you consider the things that we've got to do. If I kill that enemy I missed, and kill both of them at once, that's good too. Kill that guy. Okay, so it's not too difficult, it seems. But you have two options to choose from. This one's a bit confusing, requires a crate puzzle through poison and water. This one just requires you to be fast. With that being said, this seems good. A bit of a challenge, but it kind of makes sense since this is giving you all of the information that you need to know about how to go through all this nonsense. Oh man, that was a close one. So I suppose that's it. So with that being said, let's set this up real quick. Shouldn't be too lengthy, I imagine. Now, what do I plan on calling this level? I have no clue yet. I'll have to think of a name. But the fact that there is choices here could have it be a name consistent of choices and whatnot. Seems like a good idea. Even though there's no choices in the beginning. I don't know. I have some level designs in mind, but I'm trying to figure out where I want to put those. Definitely want something akin to ice kind of stopping you from going back and then going into a water section you have to go quickly through. And going into like a spiral of some kind. That's going to be a little tricky to set up though. I think I can manage. I just think at some point I need to start making levels off camera. So I can put all of my focus on simply just creating. Just all of it. No need for commentary, just focus on the creation aspect. Would be nice if it wasn't for the fact that I still got a bunch of other things I need to get taken care of. Luckily, though, we have a day off thanks to the frickin' snow, so I do have some extra time. Not a lot. I'm trying to get done with what I can get done with right now. So, yeah. But I will say we have quite an interesting level. Something we haven't seen yet on technically this part of it, which, makes sense. A large part of the levels that you see in the second, not a large part, but a decent chunk, a small chunk, I would say, that's pretty much locked off to you from getting to, requires you to have to go through here first, like this zone, past this zone, essentially, is what it is. Okay, I know these are, I could just fill these in as is, except for this part, but this part, now that I can fill in. I'll put in the enemies I see fit. Oh, this part should also be pretty easy. Just fill that all in. And do the same thing with this part right here. Okay, let me get the keys in real quick. Only 2 spots. The keys are all in the same spot. And the 2 lava that are, one is right here and one is down here. And then the lock, one here and one there. Oh, I forgot more water, which is this entire section right here. All right, let's get our crates in. And now let's get our enemies in. And hope I didn't miss anything important. See, if only getting that set up was as easy as that. But it's fine. All right, let's see. And I think this should be all of them. I think that should be everything, but let me just double check here real quick. There's a lot going on in this scene. So many things here going on at this point in time. Of course, I'm still going to have to go through this. I gotta test the whole level out. Definitely does feel like it's a bit of a challenge. Takes you through 2 paths, and then you decide, well, which one did you like most? Did you like going through a water maze of enemies, or did you like going through a crate puzzle of poison and water? Whichever path you choose is whatever one you prefer. I'd be curious to see which ones people prefer. Poison crate puzzles or the water aspects. Kind of gives you like a mixture of both the Poison Factory and the deep ocean, really. All things considered. This is like a good mixture of the two. I imagine some people will probably take the top side more often than not, but the bottom side seems easy enough. Also, I think that's everything here. It's hard to tell. So now I got to crop this like so. And we'll just save as into our textures. And of course, pinch. And that should be it, I hope. I'll just minimize that since I'm still going to be working on stuff there. Other than that, there isn't anything else here that needs to be added. This is a very simple level. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get my textures. What was it again? 2D, 1, and a point. Yeah, 2D, 1, and point. At least that's the one that's worked for me. I don't know if most of what I did doesn't matter or not. Probably doesn't. But that's fine. Let's just put this right where it needs to be. and remember that the player is right there. Alright, now I gotta put this level into play. And also, while it's on my mind, I need to actually put the level in the build. Just take me straight over to... what would it be? This one? No, this is B, but I'm here, so don't matter. Oh yeah, I gotta also set up navigation too. I already know where you are, kind of. Now let's put this material in. Let's hide the player. Yeah, you're right where you need to be. And that pretty much is it in that department. All I gotta do is set up navigation and then figure out a name for this. But what should that be? I do not know. Okay, so right off the bat, I know I need a ramp. What's the quickest and easiest ramp for me to get my hands on? This one? Sure. I'll even go... oh no, it doesn't really matter. Where are you, ramp? Why are you here? This isn't the main path. Oh, I guess it's technically the main path. But no, when you think about it, this is technically the side path, is it not? Yeah, you got side path 1, you got side path 2, you got side path 3. Which apparently has some turn... oh, I see. I see where we went wrong. It's fine, it's fine. But everything should be in this main path now. And not like it matters that much, it's just nice to have some consistency. Alright, well, I need you to get your ass over here. I will probably have the thing that I have in mind for that. Hopefully, if I can remember. It's the spiral level. It's like a spiral kind of water level where you can't really move anywhere with the ice and whatnot. Okay, that seems to be in the right direction. I'm not in the right position. It's fine now. 180. That seems to be in a good position. And now you are in a good position as well. The corner should be pretty easy. I think this is on the same path anyways. No, you fool. I wanted to go here. And this one I think needs to be 180. Also, get out of there. Okay, good. So now we have the pathway for that set up. So, what should this level be called? That is a good question. How about Hazard? Hazard? Pretty sure it's preference, but I'm gonna just double check to make it the sure. My brain is saying per, but that doesn't make sense. It's gotta be preference. You know, I was right. It is preference. Hazard preference. Simple enough. It's fine. So that's level 8 for you right here. Pretty sure this all should be level 8, yeah. And that takes care of that. So I guess now we'll just go on ahead, play it with the thing, progress. We'll play the whole thing, and then we'll call it there. Just get rid of everything here real quick. I would say most likely next episode we're gonna focus on getting some prefabs. Maybe I can make one more level. Seems like a good idea. We'll do a simple quick build and run, I suppose. Though I guess I could probably close this so, you know, we're not worrying about space and stuff being used. Ideally, yes. So here we go. Going through the whole level as is, with the headphones on this time. We got like a good solid less than 20 minutes left. We can surely beat this level within that time. Though I am a bit worried about certain aspects of that level. And I am a bit tired, so, yeah, having to go through all of that's going to be a little bit of a challenge for my tired brain. But I think we should be fine. We just got to pay attention. The thing about these levels is they feel like they look like they are a lot harder than they actually are. And that's because I'm not paying attention. When in all actuality, they are pretty easy. Some of them are pretty easy. The chase level there is a bit of a pain in the ass, but that's chase levels for you. Alright. Could probably exit that to save more space, but I think it's fine. Alright, take me to load game. And we almost got 60 levels made. And that number there is accurate. We have 58 levels, and now we have 59. Hazard preference. Okay, here we go. So, I think having an idea on where you guys live is the play here. See, it looks a bit of a challenge, but it really is not that bad. For that, I gotta go past up here, go up here, kill that guy, and we want this to go down. Right off the bat, we want that to go down. We want to kill this guy. We could kill him just to get him out of the way. It won't really do anything too drastic. I'd say that's the real challenge, trying to do the poison puzzles without like overstepping or making a dumb mistake like, oh, I just went in the wrong spot. Like if I go up now, I'm dead. Because there's no way I could have gone out of that, basically. With poison, you really gotta stop and smell the roses. Also, I need to... No, not that way. This part here is a bit worrisome. Like, I know where I need the enemy to be, but I need as much air as possible. See, I got a lot more air out from that. And I'll go back. Oh, God. Okay. I want to wait for you to be on the rebound. Good. Alright, so remember, the upper path is easier. We gotta go in one fell swoop. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think I prefer the poison path right now. Because I can give myself... See, this one is like, oh, I'm confident I can go quickly enough to go through that. which I feel like I can be pretty quick about it. Like, it's just the first part's a bit concerning because of, the enemy's position. But honestly, I feel like the poison path right now, despite how treacherous the poison is, it's probably the easiest path that requires little concentration, because I can just find the right path to stand on, and I'm good. Like right here, I'm safe. I want to kill this guy, so I should wait for this guy to come around. Though in all honesty, I could just do this and kill him when he comes around here, and kill you when you come around. And this part is pretty simple, minus, the parts that will murder me if I don't pay attention. And I've chosen my path. It was the poison path, which is ironic because I personally, me as a creator, I'm not a fan of the poison puzzles, but they are interesting. They are a necessity for mechanics' sake. They do lead to interesting puzzles that require you to stop and think. I do say I do prefer that over the stressful part of having to go quickly up there, because that one's just me, I need to take it slow. Slow path, fast path. Slow and steady, where you use your brain to pick your right moments. Fast and hectic, where you gotta go very fast. I feel like that's going to describe the deep ocean in the Poison Factory quite well. Well, I think that's it for today. Honestly, good timing, because I'm working on the Warp Room right now with the free time that I have Monday, and I figured, hey, sure, why not? I can record an episode of Game Crafters today, just so I can get it done and out of the way with. So as soon as I close this out and close out of the other thing, which I gotta go, I could just Alt F4, but that's fine. So with that being said, thank you all for watching today's episode of Game Crafters. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, check out their playlist, and of course, previous episode of Game Crafters right over here, and the most recent episode of Subnautica right over here. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next episode. Later.